So today I am on the east coast of the South Island in the Catlins, and what you can see here is the enormous Cathedral Cave. The cave has been created in a cliff by the sea bashing against the rocks and eroding into them to penetrate deeper and deeper as it erodes the rocks away. So this is one of a couple of big caves on the east coast here. It's believed to be potentially several 100,000 years old. And so it will have formed periodically as sea level rose in warm periods between ice ages, because it's unlikely that it will have eroded in the last 7,000 years when sea levels reached their present level after the last ice age. So it may well go back to previous ice ages. So why is it that we have these enormous caves right here in this location? And to answer that question, it's worth taking a close look at the rocks that the cliffs are made of. So let's go and have a look. So these rocks are sandstones which were laid down in the Jurassic period about 160 million years ago. And you can see that they have very strong, thick layers, sort of more or less horizontally, but actually they're tilting slightly backwards away from the sea. And there are strong and weak layers within the formation. So that's one important thing, because when the sea erodes into the cliff, weaknesses in the ceiling allow big chunks of the rock to drop off and then get eroded away by the sea to increase the height of the cave. But what helps the sea actually penetrate into the cliff is the fact that these rocks have vertical joints in them. And so these joints are basically weaknesses in the rock. The sea gets in and starts to erode, with big waves kind of bashing in and eroding particles out of those fissures to start to penetrate into the cliff. And then once they've established a tunnel, the ceiling starts to collapse. And so the deeper you go into the cave, of course, the wave action gets weaker and weaker. The energy dissipates. So there's a limit to the distance the sea can actually erode a sea cave like this. This particular cave is something like 100 meters deep. Just a massively enormous cavern. Sometimes the water comes right up here, so I'm looking behind me to check. This is quite deep inside the cave, and the ceiling is coming down, and the width of the cave is getting narrower. And if I look back, you can see the sea over there. Seaweed on the floor. Tells us that we don't want to be here in high tide. And we're coming up to the furthest reach, it looks like. Doesn't go much further than this. So these boulders have presumably fallen off the ceiling and been washed here. But it is a bit of a mystery to me why there are not so many big blocks. Where have they all gone? The sea must have either eroded them away or covered them with sand. So here you can see the flat profile of the roof of the cave, where blocks have dropped down from weak layering between the massive sandy layers. So we came in that way, and we can go around the corner here to find our way out another entrance.